Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be, what was the breaking point? Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the breaking point, this is the point in the relationship when something gave, something snapped, something changed. It's the line in the sand that could not be crossed, and it was crossed. This is the point of no return. It's the breaking point. What was the breaking point for you? Was it when you experienced one too many poor behaviors? Was it when your money ran out? Was it when your health took a hit? Was it when you lost your job? Was it when you had to relocate? Was it when finally you woke up one day and you realized that you're walking around on eggshells, you're not being treated properly, but yet the person that you were living with, maybe even loved or were in love with, was treating everybody so much better than you? You see, what the breaking point was inevitable. It was going to happen eventually. Each and every one of us that were in a narcissistic relationship, and some of you are still in these relationships, you now realize, or you understand, that there is a breaking point. We all have a line in the sand that we don't want ever to be crossed, but again, it was crossed, or it will be crossed, or it's about to be crossed. You see, the narcissist lays on the gas pedal of abuse. They think that they're the smartest person in the room. They think that the target, or the person that they're in the relationship with, can endure so much of the toxicity, and that person will continue to give to a fault, continue to be a people pleaser, continue to be available, and continue to give the narcissist chances. Well, that's not the case. That's not the truth. When you were in the narcissistic relationship, first of all, you didn't know what narcissism was because you weren't taught that in school. Second of all, you probably are an empath, kind, loving, stable, healthy person. The next thing, the third of all thing, would be that you were committed to that relationship. You probably loved the narcissist. Maybe even you were in love with the narcissist. We now know that the narcissists can't love. They don't love their spouses, their partners, their parents, their children. They have no love within them. That's why they look to take other resources, which include love, empathy, time, money, energy, everything, from other people. You see, the narcissist wants what they don't have, and they want to infiltrate people's lives like a robber or a thief in the middle of the night, intruding your home or your property and taking whatever they can, and they don't ever want to be discovered, just like a robber or a thief or, a narcissist. This is what the narcissist does. It's what they were doing long before they met you. It's what they were doing when they met you, and it's what they're doing right now. But each and every relationship that the narcissist encounters or becomes a part of, not only do they all have an expiration date, but they all have a breaking point. And the breaking point is when you have seen one too many poor behaviors. Perhaps you experienced triangulation, my least favorite thing that these people instill or administer on their targets. Well, maybe you didn't know what the term was. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you didn't know what it was. And you now know that triangulation is when the narcissist is trying to add a third person into your relationship, whether that person exists or not, but they're trying to get you to work harder for them and for the relationship. And so they will pit you up against somebody, saying that that person is giving them so many compliments, or they're giving the narcissist lavish gifts, etc. And now you're supposed to compete with that person. These relationships, when someone is administering triangulation specifically, these relationships, they simply have a clock. Picture an hourglass, if you will. At the top of the hourglass is all the sand going through the glass to the bottom. Well, there's your narcissistic relationship in a nutshell. Eventually, there's no more sand to go through the middle of that glass, and the glass up top is empty. That means there was nothing left for you to give. And when you were triangulated and you experienced projection and mirroring and rage fits and the silent treatment, which is extremely deadly, and the smear campaign, etc., you realized that something was off. And that's why you were walking around on eggshells when you were in the relationship. That's why you would hold your breath when the front door would open. You didn't know who would be there. Would it be Dr. Jekyll? Would it be Mr. or Mrs. Hyde? That's why when you would come home after you got a promotion or a pay raise or some great news, you would hold your breath. Should you share it with the narcissist? Well, you learned and you figured out rather quickly, after being with these people for years, that if you were to share your positive experiences, they would be spun in a negative light. Example, you got a promotion or a pay raise. Well, if you shared it with the narcissist in the past, again, you didn't know they were a narcissist, maybe they would say, oh, that's great, and they would continue to wash the dishes or continue to watch the paint dry on the wall, or say they've got to clean out the lint from the washer or the drying machine from 3 months ago. In other words, they wouldn't care about it. So you learned to become subservient, you learned to be quiet, You were silenced. You didn't want to share that much with the narcissist because they didn't want to hear about it. And they knew what they were doing. Keep in mind, the narcissist puts their clothes on the exact same way you do, one leg at a time. They breathe the same air. They drive the same cars. They have the same cell phones, etc. But what they do is they choose to use their period of time, which means their life, to abuse people, to manipulate people, to take advantage of people, to trick them, trap them, to groom them, to place them in the narcissistic fog, to keep them trapped in the devaluation stage or the trauma bond. This is what they did. This is what they're doing. This is what they will always do. Now, the narcissist is one of the most toxic, challenging people on the planet. You're learning that, or you've learned it. That's why virtually in every video I create, I strongly suggest to go no contact, to block these people, to delete them, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? What are you waiting for? If you can't do that, utilize gray rock, become dull and boring, but get off the radar of the narcissist. And now, at this part of the video, this is when you realize that there was a breaking point in your relationship. You probably gave so much to this person, which turned out to be the narcissist, and they were just throwing it right back in your face, saying things like this: I never asked you to put a roof over my head. I didn't ask you to pay for my cell phone bill. I didn't ask you to take me on that trip to Spain, Italy, Rome, Greece, or the Netherlands. I didn't ask you to buy me clothes. I didn't ask you to do the A, B, and C for me. You see, the narcissist is an ungrateful person. They are shallow, they're hollow, there's nothing to them. That's why once you identify that you are in a narcissistic relationship, or you were, you need to run for the hills. You need to get away from these people as fast as possible, because they will turn you inside out. They will dump all their toxicity into you and take all of your goodness and your abundance and your beautiful, bright, shining light, and they will use that to catapult themselves to the next leg of their life, to the next source of supply, to the next place or location that they're gonna slither away to. The narcissist knows that there's a breaking point. They've experienced so much toxicity throughout their life because they've administered a lot of it, and also they've experienced some of it. But they figured out rather quickly when they were younger that to get through life, their life that is, what they're going to do is they're going to abuse people. They're going to manipulate them. They're going to keep them stuck thinking about them. They're going to abuse them financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, maybe even physically. And they're going to do whatever they can to keep these people stuck on the shelf, just like a Barbie doll or a Ken doll. And what they're going to do is try to come back and play with those Barbie or Ken dolls in the future. Bear in mind, every narcissistic relationship is unique, yet similar. They are all specific to certain people because the narcissist wears a certain specific mask for each individual that they enter a relationship with. And that is very true, and it's never more evident with the children of the narcissist. Think about it. If you grow up in a narcissistic household, maybe one of your parents were toxic, or maybe both. Well, if you most likely were the scapegoat, or the child that kept the glue to the family together, meaning you were the black sheep or the white sheep. That's probably why you're on the channel. But your sibling may have been treated like the golden child, and maybe there are other children of your siblings that were treated differently, all in between. But the point is, you now understand that the narcissist treats everybody the way they want to. They don't care about human beings as human beings. They look at human beings as opportunities. They look at human beings as pawns or puppets or ways to get them to do things for them. That's why as the narcissist ages, yes, they do become the aging narcissist. And what is the aging narcissist? I will pause here. Everybody say it with me. 1, 2, 3. That's right. The aging narcissist is not, and I repeat, not a pretty sight to see. These people deteriorate over time. They do not improve their circumstances. Yes, they may have a little bit more money in the bank because they've stolen from people, or they've ripped off people's inheritances, or they've taken 401ks, or gotten the house when it was sold, etc. But money you can't take to the grave, and the narcissist never thinks about that. You see, the narcissist accumulates people. They accumulate money. They accumulate relationships. They accumulate broken hearts and tangible assets and everything. This is why the narcissist will continue to go around and around and around in that loop of misery, in that deep end of destruction, in that cesspool of toxicity. The one common denominator in the narcissistic abusive cycle, it is the narcissist. It is not you. You were in that relationship for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship, but no longer are you in it. At least that's my hope. That is why I strongly suggest, again, you go no contact, block these people, etc. But the path is this. The path is finally getting the message and understanding that if you didn't reach a breaking point yet, you will. And believe me when I tell you, what you don't want to do is experience the breaking point when it's too late. when perhaps you will experience reactive abuse, when you will lose your cool, and when you will be painted in such a dark light that it will be unfathomable to you. Why I will say that? It's because the narcissist has been setting up the smear campaign since you first met them. You just never knew it. But then again, why would you know what a smear campaign was? You're a loving, stable, healthy, kind, empathetic person. You don't want to tear people down. You want to build them up. You don't want to destroy lives. You want to grow with people. You don't want to keep people stuck in the past and thinking about what ifs. You want to be living in the present moment and living your best life, toxic, narcissistic, relationship free. There's a huge difference between you and the narcissist. The narcissist is a dark energy source, a dark energy force, and they vibrate lower than your shoe. I don't say that to be comical, to be funny. It's a fact. They know it, and I know it, and now you're knowing it. You, on the other hand, are a beautiful, bright, shining light. You have always been a beautiful, bright, shining light, and the narcissist wanted to capture your energy, your spirit, your aura, your being, your soul, and they wanted to crush this and extinguish it if possible, and they wanted to trade places with you. You see, if the narcissist could dump all their toxicity and all their negativity into you and have you believing in the false narrative of their mask, then they will have accomplished one of the goals that they set out to do when they met you, which was to manipulate you, to fool you, to have you believing that you are the toxic one, you're the bad person, you didn't do enough, you should have contributed more. If only you had done A, B, and C, X, Y, and Z would have happened. Well, none of that's true. We now know that everybody in the narcissistic relationship reaches where? That's right, they reach a breaking point. And that is a point of no return. That's when you can't unsee what you've seen. That's when you can't go backwards. That's when you can't give the narcissist one more chance. That's when you identify that the baggage of the narcissist was their baggage. It wasn't yours. But they manipulated you and they had you thinking that all the baggage was yours. That's why when you understand getting away from these people as far as you possibly can is the path, and it will serve you very, very well if you do it, because your health will return, your finances will return, your clarity will return, your focus will return, your sleep will return, your energy will return, your network will return. It will have to be rebuilt most likely, but it will return, and everything about you will come back, and it will come back in a flurry. It won't happen overnight, but each and every day you're away from the narcissist, and each and every day you understand that you have to go no contact with these people is the day you get stronger. And the stronger you get, the smaller they get, the smaller they get, the weaker they get, the weaker they get, the less they matter to you. The less they matter to you, the more you can begin to ascend, to elevate, and to reach that pinnacle of indifference, that mountaintop of indifference, where you no longer care about the narcissist or anybody from that period of time. You are either there, you are about to get there, or you are about to embark on the journey to get to the pinnacle of indifference. Either way you cut it or slice it, you will have to do that, and you will have to leave the narcissist in the rearview mirror. This is something they never thought you would do. The narcissist never thought you would block them or go no contact. They never thought that they wouldn't matter to you. They never thought that you would heal. They never thought that you would put yourself back together. They never thought that you would figure out what narcissism was and how it affected you for a period of time, and that they were manipulating you and they were wearing a mask and they were trying to have you not believe in yourself. But you figured it out. You see, you found that needle in a haystack. You're one of the fortunate people who was resilient, persistent, determined, full of fortitude, courage, and resilience, and you did not want to quit. That's why you probably typed something in a search engine or on YouTube, something like this: spouse won't talk to me. And lo and behold, boom, here comes a flurry of narcissistic information. And you checked all the boxes. Yes, they did that, they did that too, they did that. I didn't even know what that was. Oh my gosh, that happened as well. Well, this is when you realize that the relationship you were a part of wasn't what you thought it was what it was. And now that you know what it was, you need to practice radical acceptance and understand that getting away from these people is the path, and that you probably by now have reached the breaking point or the point of no return. This is a point where the narcissist knew that you would reach eventually. The thing is, the narcissist did not think you would ever put yourself back together. They did not think you would pick yourself up by the bootstraps, dust yourself off, heal, and enter the third version of you, the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind. That is a place where the narcissist feared that you would arrive at, but you have arrived there, or you are working towards getting there. And this is a good thing. Understand something. The new supply, whoever they are and wherever they are with the narcissist, if the narcissist has the new supply, they're not living their best life. It's not all puppies and unicorns and rainbows and butterflies and Twix bars and Snickers. It's not that. It's toxicity. It's abuse. It's being triangulated. It's being treated less than. It's financial abuse. It's the unpaid helper. It's the walking apology. It is the selfies being taken of the narcissist by the narcissist, putting them on social media using 50 different filters so they can get the new supplies, new supply. Understand what I'm sharing. The cycle will continue to go around and around and around, unfortunately, but it must go around without you, because now you understand that you've reached your breaking point and there is no longer room in your life for toxicity, specifically from a narcissist or any toxic person on the planet. Everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. I love you all. God bless you. And you can hear the hawks everywhere around me. I love you all. God bless you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. And realize something before I close the video. The narcissists cannot change. They can't introspect. Giving them chances will never benefit you. It never has. Cut them off. Cut them off now. Heal. Heal properly. Understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And leave the narcissist in the past. They are sinking ships and they know it. You need to really, really get the message and elevate and ascend higher than the sun, the moon, and the stars. Why? Because you are a beautiful, bright, shining light. I love you. God bless you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.